What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Two Tales. We got episode 17 today. How are we doing today, Dom?
Fantastic, man. How about you?
I am ready to rock, per usual. What do we got today?
Today we got a pretty good one. We got mental health. So
My favorite.
Yeah, this should be an interesting one. I know we've got some requests for this one, too. And we've just kind of been waiting for the right time to do it. But, I mean, there's never a wrong time to do it, so.
Absolutely. Big topic, so.
Yeah, so I'll start this off with the question. What do you find most challenging about your mental health?
Most challenging about mental health?
Your mental health in particular.
About mine specifically? That's tough because there's so much to it. I think you actually nailed it in a few episodes, though. Probably just the feeling of not knowing who to talk to about. Because I know when I first started getting it, like within the past couple of years of like just all the problems going on in life, it's like I don't really know anybody else who can relate to kind of these problems. That was really hard to like reach out and actually talk to someone when, like you said, as a guy, you feel like nobody really cares. Nobody wants to hear about your problems and what you got going on. And especially mine, I've mentioned this a lot. All of mine is self-induced. Like I caused it to myself to have all these problems, and that's just kind of, it's a bad place to feel like it's like, oh, I almost like kind of deserve to have this like backlash for what like my actions did. So it's like when I reach out to people, nobody else really relates to the shit I'm going through because like I caused it myself.
To the specific things that cause those mental health problems?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So that incident I've brought up a few times all led to most of my issues I have. And that's why when it's like I reach out to people, like I love my parents and I love my friends, but reaching out to them, like talking to them about it's just like they're like, well, you kind of caused this upon yourself. Like they don't say that, but that's just how I feel when I reach out to people.
Yeah.
It's like if I didn't do this, I don't know if I'd have all these problems going on, you know?
And also from your perspective, you're probably like, well, yeah, you didn't go through what I went through, so you
and
you don't know how
it's hard to relate to people who aren't going through the exact same thing as you did. Like a lot of people, whatever, you got some shit going on in your life that whatever work is hard. You can relate to other people who are struggling with their work. For mine, it was like, I don't know anybody like who went through the same stuff that I did, so it's hard to kind of find people to talk to it about, I guess. And like I said, it's just like I almost like deserve some of the, no, I'm not saying I deserve it, but like some of the backlash is like, all right, I got to do this myself and kind of, I'll reach out to people, but they really won't understand like why, you know what I mean? So that's probably been the hardest thing to like accept that I kind of have to just do it myself because I really don't think anyone I know at least like relates to it.
Yeah, people probably may not relate to that specific incident, whatever it was.
And that's the initial like hard part to talk to people about.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, well, you're just a dumbass for doing it, you know?
Yeah.
But
like the mental health problems that you like experienced as backlash from that incident.
Yeah.
I'm sure people, well, not I'm sure, there's definitely people out there who have experienced like similar feelings. Not for the same reason, but like the same
other self-induced one. Yeah,
exactly. Or I'm assuming that you probably got pretty bad anxiety.
Yeah.
As time went on.
Yeah. Just like struggle to find like happiness in certain aspects of life, and it just sucks.
Would you say like you didn't see like an out almost? Like you didn't see how this was going to turn out?
Yeah,
positive?
Absolutely.
Dude, I actually totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, because from that issue, it's like I said, it was caused by myself, so it was like, I don't know how to fix this. Like, I fucked up, and especially if I had other people I knew who've like been through similar situations, that could have made it a lot easier. I could have talked to them and be like, dude, like, you fucked up. How do you fix this? You don't have other people to help you. Like, you got to do it yourself. And I've taken good steps to try to like help myself get better. We're in a lot better spot now, but I still have those lingering effects of just feeling like I failed at certain like aspects of life and just feeling I could have been so much farther along than where I'm at now, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, would you say that, that whatever, like that experience in particular was like necessary for you to grow as a person?
Yeah.
So are 100%. You like kind of thankful that you had to go through those, I guess that backlash?
Yeah. Because it's made me such a better person, like deep down. But then again, now it's like I struggle to find like happiness in life outside of like hanging out with my friends and doing stuff I like. I just feel like I'm in such a repetitive like cycle of go to work, go to bed, go to the gym. It's like, is this ever gonna like end?
Dude, I get
that.
Am
I ever gonna like do shit I like, Like I have like I don't know. It'll just be like 10 minutes. I'll be like, damn, like my life blows. Like I'm so sad. And then like the next day I'll be at the gym or something. I'll be like, wow, this isn't that bad. It's almost just like an hour by hour like basis.
Would you say right now you're working so that you can kind of get out of that cycle of work, like
yeah,
bed, wake up?
But then again, I'm also on the train of I want to do shit when I'm young, you know?
Yeah.
Like I like trying to work and try to set myself up for better success when I'm older, but also I don't know, this is going to sound bad, but I'm also on the train like I could die tomorrow. Like if I'm not doing stuff I love every day, to a certain extent, I'm not saying I go out and do what I want 24 hours a day, but if I'm not having like a couple hours worth of happiness every day, like what am I really like doing, you know?
Yeah, that's
like actually, I get like you plan for the future, you plan for your future life and all that, but it's not guaranteed. So it's like I think I just got to take some steps and just try to find little bits of happiness in each aspect and try to make the best of everything I'm doing like each day, even at work or just whatever I do in life.
It's all about balance.
Yeah.
That's especially is about balance because, like you said, you need to plan for the future. You need to look out for yourself, but you also, you know...
You can't not do anything.
You need to have happiness as well. You know, it's not just a one-way street. You know what I'm saying? To stay, like, sane. Because you're right. Like, you don't know when the end is. You could die tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, happiness is key on a daily basis. You got to find some way to implement that into your life.
And it's a good... I like looking at it like that. Like, I want to keep doing fun things every day, but there's still that balance of, I got to work hard to set myself up for the future, retirement, and all that. But yeah, back to your main question, that's probably just been the hardest thing, reaching out to like find people to relate to, I think.
Yeah.
What about you? I could go on forever.
Yeah. So. No, I mean, I think you nailed it on the head. Just like finding someone who has, you know, gone through the same thing. And I kind of just related back to my scenario that I talked about in our one episode too. But I don't know, I have found people who have been through similar things. Yeah. And I will say that has been like those are the only people that I really like feel comfort from.
Yeah, because it's hard for other people to even like relate to you to know how to help you best. Because people have been through it, they know exactly, not exactly, but what's going to help you the most or the right things to say. Yeah,
and it's almost like seeing that person go through what I went through and make it out on the other side and become, you know, successful.
Yeah.
Like, that just gives me all the motivation in the world to know, like, hey, like, yeah, you may have gone through that and it may suck, but, like, you'll make it through.
Yeah.
And kind of what I said earlier, sometimes you do go through things where you don't see, like, an out, where it seems like, you know, there is no end, right? You don't know how this is going to turn out positive. But, like, this happens to me time and time again, but then I still realize, I'm like, hey, like, you know what I'm saying? Remember that one time? You made it out that time, right? You made it out this time. So it's like...
You just keep getting stronger.
You have no choice but to make it through, right? So now anytime I go through something, I'm like, okay, like, you are going to make it through this, right? It may be tough. It may not be easy, but, like, you'll make it through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's a good point, too. Yeah, and my biggest thing was, like, I just felt bad for myself. I'm like, at what point is my pity party going to end? I'm actually going to start, like, doing something to help myself. Like, even though I didn't feel like I could reach out or talk to anybody about the shit I was going through, it's like, if I sit there and mope all day, like, that's not helping anybody. And I'm not even allowing other people to attempt to help me, which was another issue, because obviously I know my family and friends, like, no matter what I'm going through, even if they can't relate, if I'm taking some sort of action to have them in my life and talk to me about it, it's going to help.
Absolutely.
But that took a while, obviously.
And, like, with that also, do you ever find yourself overthinking ever?
Oh, God.
Because that might be, like, my answer to the original question, actually, is my biggest problem is my overthinking and worrying, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Dude, I overthink so much about everything. Someone could tell me, like, hey, this is the reason that I'm doing this, right? And I may take it for what it is, or I may overthink it and be like, wait, but what if it was actually this and they're lying?
Yeah, and that just stresses you out.
Yeah, and it's like this caused this, which caused this. So, like, I just overthink like crazy. And a lot of the times I am right, though. That's the thing, is that I am right a lot of the times when I overthink. But, you know, a lot of the times I just, like, psych myself out.
Yeah.
And that's probably my biggest problem, actually, is definitely the overthinking.
Yeah, I've actually noticed that a lot too ever since my anxiety's kind of like, it's just all I think about. And now like my sleep isn't as good with everything, and because I'm just always up thinking. And that's what's so weird for me too. I'd never had any of these like sleepless nights or anything. I had a post the other day. I feel like I sleep with my eyes open. I feel like I'm conscious of what is going on at all times. I'm like, this is not like healthy.
That's actually crazy.
But it's just weird. And I'm like, I'm just up thinking about like everything.
Do you ever like think like you want to go seek some like professional help, or do you ever just want to deal with it on your own?
See, the thing is, obviously I think we're both pretty big advocates for therapy, but it is expensive too, and all my problems go away when I'm at the gym, which is why I think if I could find a way to incorporate some sort of gym aspect in my life at all times, I'd be okay.
Yeah.
But it's just hard when I come home and I'm like, fuck, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Or how to find some sort of happiness in what I'm doing. That's why even reading's helps so much too, because it just gets my mind clear of everything but that book.
I agree. I've been reading recently
even TV
too.
TV can help too, but
reading's different. Like you really have to like.
You're just engaged.
Yeah, you have to you really have to pay attention to what you're like doing. You can't just like doze off and go on your phone. Like you really have to be locked in, and it does get your mind off of plenty of things.
And it's crazy, but I don't know how to like fix that.
I don't know. I mean, like you said, like it's all about like learning, and like you said, when you go to the gym, all your problems go away.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a form of therapy for some people. For you, in your case, like it's all about learning and just finding what works for you, and like. When that's what like the key thing is like people, you know, deal with anxiety, depression, and what works for one person may not work for another person, which is why it's kind of tricky because there's not like a cure for it, you know what I'm saying? A cure or like, you know, one thing that's going to help everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what's hard, I think, especially I think we both kind of hit on that, where it's hard to reach out to somebody because it's like what they could tell you to do might work for 99% of people. It might not work for you.
But to make that attempt is key. And I think like it's very important. And I mean,
because you don't know if it's going to work if you don't try.
Yeah, exactly.
Or seek out some sort of help, try to do something.
Yeah, exactly. What would you say, I guess, okay, as on a broader spectrum, would you say mental health needs to be talked about more?
Yeah.
You think so?
Men especially.
In men especially?
Yeah, because I know we've talked about this, but I actually got a DM I saw this TikTok and I like reposted it, and it was from this girl it was called the Heartfelt Club, and it was a page like her kind of business dedicated to like getting men to open up about like their mental health and stuff. And she posted a TikTok that kind of like blew up and got my attention, and it was like, this is a pretty common stat, but like 3 out of 4 suicides are like men.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that at the time, and I was like, holy shit, like that's insane. And we just got talking, like I followed her on Instagram. And she just reached out and she's like, oh, I love that. Because I quoted it and I was like, oh, like make sure you tell like your people. Just don't be afraid to like speak your mind about stuff, especially as a guy. I know it's awkward. I know it's weird. But we talked about being vulnerable all the time. But yeah, she just like, I just love the message she was sending about like, it's okay to like open up about your problems and talk to people. And it was such a good message.
How do you think, how do you think that we fix that and we, help people, men, everybody, but men in particular, open up more about their problems? What do you think you can do, or like what do you think we could do as a society, as like a, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I
think like posting things like that is just like encouraging it on social media. And I do think that it needs to be talked about more, but I also think that it is being talked about more than ever now.
It's getting more popular for sure. And I think that comes back to just being okay with being uncomfortable in your life in general. Because, like, I don't know. It was, even when I quoted, I was like, damn, this is kind of weird. Like, I'm talking about guys, like, telling their friends that they love each other and stuff. And I'm like, damn, it's a little odd. But I just know, like, what her videos and stuff did for me. And I guess that just helped me relate. Like, I'm not the only one going through shit.
Yeah.
Like, there are so many other guys who are probably just scared to post about it. And I'm like, holy shit, if me seeing this video, imagine if I just repost it and, like, 5 people see mine. And then they're struggling with shit on inside. And then, like, they're like, oh, my God, this helped me so much.
Yeah.
And I think just the constant, like, cycle and flow of social media, too, like, helps.
Yeah, I think, like, it being talked about now more than ever is attributed, like, a lot of it's attributed to social media itself.
Yeah, it's just such an easy platform to spread happiness and or sadness, which is tough.
And I think a key thing in... encouraging people to come forward and talk about their mental health is like making videos and letting them know that, like, you know, you can approach me in particular, or you in particular, or just whoever's making the video, that you can approach them with your problems, and like you're open to hear what you got to say, and they're just going to be a good listener. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think making content about that is absolutely key.
Yeah.
We have like social media is this tool, and why not use it? And I think that we are using it. You know what I'm saying? I think that people are using it now more than ever. But yeah, I mean.
Yeah, and the crazy part about that, like, page I was talking about, that's a girl running it. So I'm just like, where did this come from? Where she,
I love that.
like, is so adamant, or an advocate is the word I was looking for like men's mental health. I'm like, this is so cool. This isn't even a guy talking about it. This is a girl who maybe she has her own, like, some sort of issues going on, and she's looking out for other guys because she knows they're, like, less likely to talk about it. And I just thought that was the coolest thing.
That's how you know she actually cares.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's actually looking out for people. And I respect that.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's such a tough topic, too. Do you think the stigma is kind of going away, too, with men talking about it? I know we've hit on this a few times.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it is going away, but I think that I think that it's more of like maybe like the older generation.
Yeah.
That's kind of like preventing it. But I think that, you know, the younger generation, and as social media grows, it's becoming more and more acceptable to talk about your mental health problems.
Yeah. So you think there's more people seeing it as the side, like, yo, everybody has some shit going on, rather than like suck it up and like deal with it kind of mentality?
Yeah. Because like growing up, dude, it wasn't like
it wasn't real.
Yeah. I mean, I just like it's like crazy to think about.
In my life, it seemed.
Yeah. Like I didn't hear, like growing up, I did not hear people talk about their mental health, like guys, girls, as much as like I should have been hearing it. You know
I wonder what that is. I actually just read a stat too, like the depression rate or something in kids has gone up like from 5 to like 8%. I was just curious if you thought anything like relates to that.
Like you're saying,
like why it would go up, or why more people are having some, because I would assume like mental health illnesses and just other people are having more issues now than ever before.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting.
I think that could just come from media, too.
You're talking about, like, kids are experiencing this?
Yeah, I think the article said youth, but if I had to guess, I would assume most people...
Yeah, I mean, I think you can...
It's more prominent.
I think you can attribute that to, like, a lot of different things. I don't think it's one thing in particular. Social media definitely can be a negative in that sense.
Yeah.
But also, I think, like, divorce rates, you know, are as high as they've ever been. So, you know, if the youth have to go through that, that's also something that can really take a toll on you mentally. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's like not one
especially
in particular
on kids
thing,
too. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, but that's just like, you know, one of many things that I think is attributing to, you know, that statistic right there.
Yeah, I don't know what else could attribute to that too. I think just more people. I don't know how to explain it.
And I do have another question for you. Like, going back to like your first like scenario that you talked about. So you said you experienced like a lot of like backlash, like, you know, mental health issues from that incident.
Yeah.
I guess did you experience any physical, I guess, I don't know what the right word is, physical backlash from that? Because I know like a lot of people experience things like oversleeping, or like
yeah, you know, that word like affected my day-to-day.
Yeah, having like clutter build up in their room, you know, if due to depression, anxiety, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that.
Not really. I feel like mine was all just in my mind. So I guess that would I probably would sleep less too, because it would just be all I would think about. Like everything, like even the smallest thing, like I don't know, even some sort of argument I had like a year ago, it would just drive me nuts, and I'm like, I can't get this out of my head. And I'm like, why is this? We're just trying to find like that day-to-day happiness. I wouldn't really let it affect like how I would go about my life, but in my head it would always be like there. Like I still went and did everything I had to do throughout the day, but in my head it like wouldn't go away, which is kind of weird to think about now.
Yeah, no, I
how
get
it didn't affect more actually. But I guess I just kind of kept trucking.
So would you say like...
That's weird. I didn't think about it like that actually.
No, yeah. Would you say, like, I guess, men are pressured to be, like, masculine, I guess? Masculine, I don't think this is really what defines masculinity, but do you think a reason they're not talking about it as much and have trouble talking about it is due to it being looked as not masculine.
Yeah, 100%. That's part of the reason I didn't want to talk about it either. It's like not even that I had like a hard ass kind of mentality. It's just like we said, I didn't think anyone cared either.
Yeah.
Especially when it was caused by myself. I'm like, shit, who really gives a shit? But it is embarrassing to talk about the first couple times, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing to be embarrassed of, but it's an embarrassing topic to talk about, your feelings, you know?
Yeah.
Especially when you feel like people don't care.
That's the key.
Yeah.
When you think people don't care, oh, that's like the worst feeling in the world.
And that's my biggest thing now, too. I actually wanted to bring that up. Like, how can we... Like, you even said it that one week where it's like, you can tell people, oh, I'm always here for you, I'm always there for you, you can always talk to me, all that BS. But how do we actually show somebody
like
that
don't just
you can confide in me?
I guess, like, to show
it's kind of a toss-up, but it's like...
To show somebody that you're actually there for them, I think you need to, like, yes, ask them, or not ask them.
I feel like you have to be proactive before they even come to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, say you had something going on, I could, like, pick up some signs. I would reach out to you.
Yeah.
Instead of, like, you confiding in me with all your problems and stuff. And then me being like, oh, you can always, like, talk to me, or we can always, like, link up or do something about it.
Yeah, and I think, like, to show them you're actually there for them, like, you need to take that first step and ask them, like, hey, how are you doing? And you know how most people respond to that first, you know, question, like, oh, like, I'm okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Right? I think you need to, like, keep, like, I don't want to say, like, overdo it, but, like, keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? Like, be like, hey, like, how are you really doing? You know what I'm saying? Like,
or even just try to relate to them too.
Yeah, and always, like, really make sure you're there for them. Like, keep checking up on them. Don't just one time be like, hey, like, you good?
Yeah.
Be like, hey, like, are you really good? And, like, continue to do that and make it known.
Yeah.
Because if people, like, keep pestering me about it, I'm like, okay, like, this person actually cares. Like, you're not just saying this just to say it. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like they need to, or to feel better about themselves. I feel like this person actually cares.
Yeah.
So I think it's all about, like, effort, you know what I'm saying? And, like, it's hard to, like, for me, it's very hard to open up to somebody.
Yeah, because it is hard to fake effort, too. So, you know, if someone's consistently, like, checking up on you, they genuinely probably care.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's I've been trying to do that more in my life, too. Dude, even just letting the people know you, like, love them, too.
Absolutely.
Like, that's just insane to me.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't really tell anybody I loved them for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like, oh, they know. Like, they know how I feel about them.
Nah,
it's just a crazy feeling.
You can never assume that, too. Because you never really, like, know. Like, you really never know what people are feeling. That's the one thing, like, that's the one, like, biggest thing also, I think, is a problem, is that you really don't know what people are going through.
Yeah.
To the naked eye, somebody might be, like, perfect, like, on the weekends at the bar or whatever. But when they go home and close their eyes at night, like, they can feel super lonely, and you never know, you know, what the outcome of that might be.
Yeah. And that's even what you were talking to me about, like how the physical aspect of all the shit I was going through on the outside, you would never know I was going through like the shit I felt and what was going on in my head, because I portrayed this like act that everything was fine. And I feel like a lot of people do that too. And that makes it hard for other people to see that you're like down, you know, because I don't want to bring other people down while I'm out and stuff, you know.
That's literally me to a T. Like, even currently, or like in the past, but like currently, like I'm going through shit right now, right? But like going out and stuff like that, really, like, it gets me, like, my mind off of it, you know what I'm saying? But as soon as the night ends and I go back into my bed, that feeling comes right back, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a nice, like, escape, I guess you could say. But as soon as the lights turn off and I close my eyes and I'm back in my head, it's like, you know what I'm saying? The problem isn't fixed.
I think that's a lot of, too, now, where my stuff is coming from, because I'd say I'm pretty, like, lonely in life. Not to be, like, super sad, but...
Oh, no, I get you.
In that normal, like, my day-to-day, I'm by myself. I drive to work. Pretty much I'm at work by myself. I do my stuff. And then I drive home. I have all this time where it's all I think about is all the shit going on.
Yeah.
When I was in college or doing, like, other stuff, doing stuff I like at the gym, playing sports, whatever, your mind's off of it all the time.
Yeah.
But when, like... And I enjoy being alone. I'm almost kind of, like, scared I'm enjoying it too much.
Yeah.
Because I just keep thinking about all the shit going on, and it kind of drives me nuts sometimes.
Dude, I 100% understand what you're saying. Like, the difference between being alone and, like, being, like, truly, like lonely, I guess.
Yeah.
Is, like, dude, like, sometimes I feel like I have people in my life. Like, I have friends that I can hang out with and stuff like that. But, like, sometimes, like, I do feel, like true just, like, loneliness. Like, I have, like, myself and, like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, not somebody that I could, like, sometimes I do feel like there's nobody that I can, like, go talk to, and I know this person has me 100%, I always like second guess myself versus where the overthinking comes.
Yeah.
But like, I will say this, like, loneliness is one of the worst feelings in the world, bro.
Yeah.
It is one of the worst feelings.
Especially when you're, like you said, you're surrounded by so many people and you still feel.
Yeah, and that's
like,
what,
lonely.
it's like, it like fucks with your head. It's like, dude, like, I have all these people around me, but like, why do I still feel like I'm by myself?
Yeah.
It's so weird, bro.
I don't know how do you think someone could fix that, or even, and I just wanted to add on that real quick, like, I think that's what comes just as you get older too, like that typical work day.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why a lot of people like are sad in their life just because of their job and how much time they spend like dedicated to that job, dedicated to like being alone and just so focused on that.
Yeah.
It is kind of lonely, like working 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like, in essence, unless you're out, like, I mean, most jobs you sit at a desk and do your stuff, you know, it's.
Even if you're not, it's just like, you know, like, I don't know. I do think like a lot of it, not to fix that, but a big thing to like help with that is like, you know, if you're in a relationship, you know, like when you have somebody you can talk to every single day and you know for a fact that they got your back.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's like that's one of the biggest things is like, if you have a person like that, like the loneliness, like the true loneliness feeling like goes away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like having like a significant other is huge, and it's like, it's hard to replicate that with like a friend. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to replicate.
Even when I've like talked to people, not even like relationship wise, just having someone to talk to every day, like,
oh my God.
And I text like a freaking demon. I'll send like 5 in a row because I'll just
Same.
spit off everything that's on my mind.
Yeah.
And it's just,
Oh my.
it is nice to have, but when it's taken away, it's an awful feeling.
Oh my God, dude, you're telling me, bro.
Yeah.
It is the worst feeling in the world, and you know, it's like that's where the loneliness comes in. But like, you know, I think that's something that like kind of what Niall talked about a few episodes ago. He was like, you got to just be positive, and I think that's where like for me at least, the positivity comes in. Is like, I just got to think positive and be like, I know I'm gonna get through this. Like, it really sucks right now. I feel lonely, but like, I know that, you know, in a week or a month or however long, like I'm gonna get through it no matter what. And that's like, you know, that's like key, because without that, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, where I would be.
Yeah. So this might sound bad because that is a good mentality to have, but right now I feel like even when some things do get better, it's just another bomb gets like dropped on me. And I'm not saying, I kind of am saying me specifically. I'm sure other people feel this too.
Oh yeah.
Like, you start to finally get over that one person, and then you get hit with something else.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, now I got this one that I'm kind of getting over, and now I get this other bomb on me. It's like, how the hell do I keep balancing all this bullshit?
For me, yeah, I totally get what you're saying. I guess it's just, I'm very hopeful of finding that like stability one day, that like you're gonna like escape all the bullshit and all the bombs will be done, and I just like, I'm like determined to get to that point. And I mean, the problems are never gonna go away. Everybody's got problems, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, definitely.
All you can do
That's
is
tough.
hope and be positive. But
yeah, damn. I guess
we could wrap that up.
we could start wrapping it up. I got deep, man. I could go on forever.
Yeah, we could go on forever about that, but
Could do a part 2 at some point.
Yeah, we could do a part 2, but other than that,
that was a good topic. Did you got any like final takeaways? I guess. Real quick, obviously, I know we're running out of time, but I guess mine would just be, don't be afraid to reach out to someone. Even from my scenario, it's like, even if they can't directly relate, opening up and talking to someone helps so much, like so much.
No, yeah, I probably
Especially
think you nailed
those
it.
good people.
I think you nailed it. Don't be afraid to open up to people, and make sure you're checking on your friends, and make it known that you actually care.
Yeah, true. Take some active steps.
Yeah,
Reach out.
Other than that,
Tell them you love them.
I think we're good. But next week, we actually have a bar crawl we're going to, so hopefully we got some good stories from that. It should be a good episode.
Oh, yeah, we could just recap that, kind of talk about the day. Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, thank you guys for listening, and hope you enjoyed.